Dr. Cortex. Dr. Cortex, you're on.
Am I really?
Yes, the camera's rolling. Sir, please, can you come over quickly?
All right. I was just in the middle of a good study. But thank you anyways, Jambot. Here you go. Well, hello everyone. Once again, Dr. Phineas Cortex at your service. Now, I sincerely hope that every one of you has had a great summer so far. Now, I know I have. I've reoriented my studies recently in this particular season of summer. You may know me for studying things like astronomy, space, the history of astronomy. However, in recent times, I have reoriented myself to study earth science. And quite frankly, if you do not mind as the viewer, I would like to reveal my studies to you. So, let's get right to it then. Jambot, where do you think a good place to start would be? Stumped, are you? I can tell that he's stumped. Well, let's think about it. I've been living in Earth's atmosphere for quite some time now. So I suppose that would be a good place to start then. I can give a first-hand account on where I live and such aboard this spacecraft of mine. So, anyways, without further ado, the Earth's atmosphere. So, the nitrogen, oxygen, and carbon dioxide gases that many of you are familiar with and that make up our own atmosphere are larger than you think. Here I've created a makeshift graphic of the Earth's atmosphere, and we today are going to go upward from the surface of the Earth to the very, very tippy top of the atmosphere. So let's get right to it. Now, the first layer of our atmosphere is called the troposphere. Now, the troposphere is where we live. Yes, it is where we live and breathe and eat and play games and such. And we have plenty of room space. For you see, the troposphere extends about 20 kilometers above the surface of the Earth. And like many of you are familiar with, the troposphere is under normal living conditions with, temperatures varying from the coldest depths of Antarctica to the warmest climates of our own deserts. Now, just above this troposphere lies something called the ozone layer. Now, ozone is a special type of gas made from three oxygen atoms. 3 oxygen atoms make up a molecule of ozone. And what the ozone layer does is that it protects us from the sun's harmful UV rays. It's a very useful place right there. So the ozone layer itself is actually sandwiched between the troposphere in a layer that we like to call the stratosphere, about 20 to 50 kilometers above the Earth's surface. This is the place where you might find spacecraft, like jet planes and really high-flying weather balloons, and let's see, what else was I thinking of? Oh yes, high altitude clouds. I've forgotten the names of some of the clouds, quite frankly, but as always, feel free to look that up. Now, as we go up further, we're about 50 to 85 kilometers above the Earth's surface. This is where we find the mesosphere. Now, the mesosphere, quite surprisingly, is cold in temperature. This is because we are starting to head up into space now. Less dense air means less temperature, less warm temperature. Do you get what I'm saying? Oddly cold temperatures here. This is also where you find meteorites, and sometimes you can even find low-flying satellites and such. As we go a bit higher past the mesosphere, about 85 to 690 kilometers, we come across a place that we like to call the thermosphere. Now, as the name implies, warmer temperatures are found here. In addition, you can find auroras here as well. Some of you may be familiar with the aurora borealis up in places like Alaska. Well, these phenomenons occur up here in the thermosphere. Once again, you can look up the aurora borealis. It's a really fascinating phenomenon with all sorts of air molecules and all the glowy bits and pieces. I always liked looking at them when I was a little child. But anyhow, here you can also find low-orbiting spacecraft, such as the International Space Station. The International Space Station is located right here. Now, just beyond the thermosphere, about 690 to... It's hard to say because the exosphere is basically the bridge between the rest of Earth's atmosphere and the rest of space. The exosphere itself is technically the largest of the layers, the thickest of the layers. Some people, like myself, say that it extends about 10,000 kilometers above the Earth's surface. However, some people think differently. But anyhow, here you can find high-orbiting spacecraft, such as mine, the USS Carolina. In addition, you can also find very little air particles. For you see, this is where once again, the bridge between space and our atmosphere, you find very little air particles being pulled by Earth's gravity. Therefore, you can also find very, very cold temperatures, as with the rest of space itself. But with all that being said, we must thank our atmosphere. For one, we wouldn't be here without it. It provides us with the necessary gases that we as humans and animals and plants need to survive. And in addition, the ozone layer within our atmosphere protects us from the sun's harmful UV rays. And it is our duty to protect our own atmosphere itself. Now look at that, isn't it beautiful? I know it's just a plain old sketch, but oh, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Anyhow, that's about it for me today. Jambot, I do believe that it is time for a bit of lunch. Yes, lunch would sound really good right now. But anyways, that's about it, I must say. What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? Oh, that's right. The next topic we are going to look at next time. Computer, do you remember how to load topics for next time? Quite frankly, we haven't done this in a few weeks, and we're a bit rusty on this whole program thing. Oh, do you have it now? Oh, good. Thank you. Here it is. Here it is. Aha! I see. Another good place to continue our studies. Next time, we're going to be looking at bodies of water. Bodies of water, bodies of water. Water itself is a good thing to have as well. Keeps us hydrated. Especially right now with it being summer and all back in my home state. People really do need to stay hydrated these days. But anyhow, other than that, that's about it, I do suppose. There's a lot of space dust in the summertime here too, for some odd reason. Anyways, feel free to leave a science-related question down below in the comments for me to eventually answer. Well, with that being said, I bid you ta-ta in 3, 2, 1. Lunch, 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 lunch.